I am that I am, Saint Germain in service, and I welcome you to this first channel for the new year. This is an interesting time to be in. There has been a lead up in the last 3 weeks to the point where you are all at now. The major shift occurred on Wednesday just past, and you would notice in the lead up to this a lot of agitation, anger coming to the surface, irritability, and other uncomfortable feelings. And this was all part of a shake-up to bring you to this shift that occurred on Wednesday. Most people on the planet will have gone through this shift, not all registering it, but it did occur as the planet now has entered into a new vibratory level. And this means for a lot of people now that everything will start to flow in a much more easy way, as the changes which began in 2012, the crumbling of foundations, has now occurred. And 2015 saw many sifting through the rubble, so to speak, pulling out the parts of their lives that served them and dusting away the parts of their lives that did not. So as 2016 now comes in, we will see the building of new foundations. Now, this building of foundations was expected to occur a few years prior to this. However, 2012 proved to be quite traumatic to many, and it took a lot longer for humans to move through that which began to collapse in that time. So I do want to say to you to take heart, for the energy sequence of this year is one of transformation. It is one of rebuilding. It won't be without its trials or hard work. However, through this time, you will start to see the manifesting of those dreams of which you have had trouble getting off the ground in the past 4 years. It is now the time for building. It is the time for change. So as we usher in this new year, you will find the vibration to be much lighter. There will still be time and space to really come to terms with what happened in the past 4 years. However, there will be an air of positivity around this. There will be optimism. Whereas before many felt that they were stuck, now things will begin to move. The other thing to, keep in your minds at this point is that those who hold on will suffer. So if you do not move with the energy of this year, which is a fire year, you will find that, you could say, you will be burned if you do not keep up. Allow the flame of transmutation to come through. Allow things to move. And do not cling to the past, and do expect that old concepts and views to start falling away. This occurred in, a much grander scale. However, we are really now coming down to those smaller bits, the really deep and ingrained parts which humans have had trouble of letting go. But the beauty is that you can just let it go. Just like that, in the moment, gone. Without processing, without analyzing, without any of the, sequences humans like to go through. They bring forth a problem, and then they analyze the problem, and then they will seek different methods to solve the problem, but this is very mind-based, and it's no longer necessary. You can simply make the decision for it not to be a problem, for it to just simply fade away. You all have that power. Although in saying that, I am not speaking of power in the way humans perceive it. It is the simple allowing, bringing space, and it will dissolve on its own. Now, I know that I have spoken in depth in the past about the mind and how it has truly become outdated. It can no longer filter or understand or perceive the energies that are coming to the planet right now. So on a physical level, this may manifest as anxiety, as stress, as adrenal fatigue, as the body is now trying to keep up with the vibrations that are coming through. And many light workers will be finding that they are feeling fatigued and that they are feeling anxious, and this is normal. And it is okay to give yourself some space around that and seek ways to alleviate that so that you can really come to the core of what it is that is going on. So do spend time in meditation and sit with the anxiety or the fatigue or whatever is coming up for you. Choose any way in which you can bring space to that, and do know that it is a biological thing. It is because the nervous system is now having to integrate a much higher frequency. So if you are feeling a little shaky, if you are feeling fearful or anxious or fatigued, do know that it is simply a byproduct of the increased frequencies coming to Earth, and to spend some time nurturing the body. Do not view it as a problem within yourself, your being, your mind. View it on a biological level. I would also like to bring forth the idea of planetary awareness. And what I mean with that is that there are now another wave of souls who are beginning the awakening process. So in this new wave of souls, you will begin to see those starting out on the path that many of you began 10 or more years ago. They are now starting to explore the possibilities and the realms of spirit, of spirituality, of the new age, of religion. And do be kind to this new wave of awakening in these people. Do have compassion for them, because they will be going through their own inner turmoils. They will be experimenting with different concepts and ideas. And you as forerunners on the planet in the awakening process can assist these people in pointing them in a direction and a path that is right for them. And I do really want to stress the importance of letting go of set formulas. The individual is the individual, and they will all have their own path. So if you do not understand the path another is on, bless them and send them on their way. Do not try to put your formula upon them. And I also say to you all to let go of your own formulas and do not put them upon yourself. For you will find that in this time now that things are not what they seem. Energy is changing, it is transmuting, it is getting higher in frequency, so that those old formulas, even the ones that you began to form and apply in the previous year, will no longer work once again. And this has been brought forth on purpose to keep souls on this planet who are seeking ascension, who are seeking enlightenment, to keep moving. Because when a human creates a pattern, when a human creates their formula, the mind will cling to it, and then the human will get stuck in it. But, dear ones, the all is greater than that. It is more vast than that. So move beyond the need for patterns and formulas, for that is very mind-based. If you do not understand what is happening, come out of the mind and drop to your heart. That is the next point of perception that will assist you in being able to understand what is going on in your life and the lives of those around you. And this includes the planet as well. So remember that patterns do not serve you, formulas do not serve you. Let them go and you will expand. Your consciousness will expand into a greater way of being. And being is the key word here. To be. You are here as beings. To exist. To experience the present moment as it is. To fully live it. And there is no need to constantly strive forward. For that is once again the old paradigm. That is once again a mind-based way of achieving. And even achieving in itself is a very human concept. There is nothing to achieve. For everything that is you is within your being. And once you can accept that, then you will find that everything that your human self desires and that which you desire on a soul level will begin to manifest anyway. It is about bringing space and allowing that flow of energy to occur. No more forcing. That is what I am trying to get across. There is no need to force things to happen anymore. It will just be if you allow it. And it will be a lot quicker than if you follow the old road of having to force something to occur. Indeed, many things will not actually work anymore if you try to force them to occur. That is old energy, it is dense, and the energy does not work like that anymore. For you have to remember now that the divine feminine is now coming in and bringing balance to the masculine. That is what is occurring on the planet right now. We are bringing in the feminine energy once more to create that divine balance. In the masculine paradigm, one must force things to happen. They must exert energy. In the feminine, it just happens. It just grows. So in that balance, you will find that things will flower in their own time, of their own accord, according to your inner soul path. So just breathe into that for a moment and really allow the idea that if you simply get out of your own way, take the mind aside, and allow the energy to flow forth into that which you want to create, it will happen. So no more visualization, no more affirmations, no more mind-based tricks. Because that is all they are. They are mind-based tricks, and they won't get you very far in the new energy. That is why the law of attraction for many does not work, because they are using the mind to try and create, when really their entire being is beyond the mind. The mind is a tool. The being creates, the mind does not. So feel into that. The more you begin to accept yourselves as the divine beings that you are, the more life will flow for you, and you will enjoy the richness that is being here. For we know many of you have been questioning, why is it I am here? And we know the joy in a lot of things has kind of just left. And many souls are feeling not down, but in a neutral state where nothing is really enlivening them anymore. And this is a good thing, because we are now entering an era where one does not have to seek outside of itself for that joy. One does not have to seek outside of themselves to feel that aliveness, because it is all within. Simply by being will you feel joy. Simply by being will you feel that aliveness of living. It is the joy that comes with being where you are. Where you are is perfect. Where you are is sacred. It is the human mind that tells you otherwise. So breathe into that, because the mind will never be satisfied. But the soul revels in the experience. So in learning to ride the waves that come with human life, you will find more fulfillment, more joy, and more contentment with all that is, even when there are difficult times occurring. because that inner stillness and that inner peace will still be underlying everything, and you will be able to tap into that and to feel it. So it is okay. It truly is okay. You are all safe. Nothing can harm you. Nothing. Anything which tells you that it can harm you is of a consciousness that has not even come to understand itself or its potential. That is part of the old energy wars and energy games. You are divine and whole as you are. Always safe. For I know there are many fears on the planet at present. And many of those fears do pertain to how you will provide those basic necessities for yourself. But I say, do not allow worry to get in the way. Because as you come into the fullness of your being and really connect in with your higher self and come to understand your own divinity, you will also come to know yourself from a place of love. And all those things will be provided without effort. So breathe into that. And to know that it is time to stop playing the games of lessons. Many get stuck in the cycle and almost an excitement that comes with learning lessons. But learning lessons is another part of the mind game. There's no need to learn lessons because you already know. It's all just there. It's all within you. So stop creating situations for yourselves where you must learn a lesson from it. Because we know that you are all tired of that. No more lessons. Let's just cut now to the truth of the I am. The pure existence of your soul. That is where the answers lie. And that is where you will find the peace that you seek. Now I will leave the floor open for questions.
I have a question. When you say to keep moving, what do you mean?
To keep moving is to, I guess, stop that stagnancy that many humans get stuck in. To allow the energy to keep flowing. Because right now, many get stuck. They dwell on things. They dwell on situations. They dwell on the past. They dwell on the future. They dwell on different things that might have happened in their day, different situations, and it's not worth the energy. So do not dwell. Accept it as it is. And allow the energy to keep flowing. because you'll find if you create that space around whatever it is that you are dwelling upon and do not keep focusing on it, it will resolve on its own, in its own time, and you would not have to waste that energy that many of you do in focusing constantly on whatever it is that's got your attention at that point. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Also, were you saying to no longer even have like don't set goals for future anymore, or focus on what you want to create?
It's okay to have goals, and I'm not saying just to sit in your lounge room and wait for things to happen, but I'm saying do not force them to happen. So when I say that, I mean bring in a softness and to really use your intuition here. Many will keep butting their heads against doors that will not open because they have it set in their mind that it is going to work in a particular way, in a particular pattern, in a particular time frame. So what I mean in terms of creation without the forcing is to really connect back to your heart, to really feel into the space without those formulas or patterns, without those preconceived ideas of how it is going to happen, because that in itself is forcing something down a particular road to happen, but to simply allow yourself to sit in the potentials which could come forth. So yes, you may have a goal. Feel into that goal intuitively, and you will know if that goal is, I guess you can say, worthy of your time and something that at a soul level you truly do want to achieve. And once you have ascertained that, then you can start to make steps, but do not make the steps in a perceived formula way. So do not bring yourself and say, I am going to do this, and then I expect this to happen, and then I'll do this, and I'll expect that. Because you're setting yourself up in such a way where you may come across disappointment. But if you open the energy, things that you would not have even conceived of being possible will actually start to flow in. When you force a idea or you force a goal down a certain road, you block off every other potential around it. You block off the energy that could come in and actually create an easier path. So by allowing yourself to be open to all potentials, you create the path of least resistance. And this will be, a much easier way in living. And it will also be a way which you will find will assist in you manifesting your goals or your dreams a lot quicker, because you're not forcing it down a particular road. So being open to potentials, allowing anything, even that the mind cannot even comprehend, to come in, allowing those miracles, as you call them, to occur. And that is the new way of manifesting. Creating space, allowing, planting seeds, and watching it grow, rather than forcing something to grow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Yes, Saint Germain. I was just wondering, when you talked about the energy that came through on Wednesday, the anxiousness and the irritability and the fearfulness, is that going to last for a while, or is that just a short?
Unfortunately, we're looking at about 6 months as the body upgrades to the new energy. Because the energy did come through in such an intensity, one that surprised us, but human consciousness was ready for it, that the body went into a little bit of a shock state. So it will take a little while to, I guess, for the body to catch up, but there are practical ways in which you can assist the body in catching up. And, that's just simple things in terms of getting enough sleep, managing your stress, trying not to put extra burden on the nervous system at this time, and also considering the life force of that which you ingest. So making sure that the body is provided with the energy it requires. And I do not just mean this, in terms of food and nutrients. I'm talking about the energetic patterns of that which you put into your body. And it'll be individual for everyone. So if you really feel into it and use your intuition, you will know that which your body needs in order to bring its vibration up. But it will be about 6 months, and it will come and go. The body will catch up, the energy will intensify, and then the body will have to catch up again. It's just going to keep going up in increments, and it really does also depend on the individual soul and how far they are willing to take this, I guess, higher frequency. Some may choose not to embrace it all, others may want to go all the way. So they will have different symptoms manifesting, and this can also include things like heart palpitations, restlessness, difficulty sleeping, and also just feeling particularly sensitive to their environment and different things around them, and particularly more lower vibratory, anything, people, situations. So just be gentle with yourselves at this point, because the body is really having to work hard to keep up with this energy that is coming to the planet, as well as keep up with the modern life that many in the West have prescribed themselves to. So you put the two together and many will struggle. So just make sure that you're allowing the body to rest and really honor rest and quiet time and sacred space. And you will weather it a lot better than others that don't. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Are there any other questions? If not, I would like to lead you in a small meditation, just one that will allow you to really open up to the potentials that are within your being, because it is very easy to get trapped in narrow thinking. It is very easy to get trapped in ways of perceiving, and I really want to bring forth that idea that you can create anything and that it is all there. You just have to allow the space for that energy to flow in. So I ask you all now to close your eyes, make yourselves comfortable, and take in 3 deep breaths. And in this space of the breath, know that you are worthy. I invite you to connect in with your heart center. And feel into the expansiveness that resides there. If there is tension there, allow that to be also. Know that in times of turmoil, in times of stress, you can come back to your heart center and visit the space that is there. In the space of the heart, you bring love to yourself. The heart loves without judgment. Breathing long and deep. Now I ask you all to bring forth a symbol. Do not think on it, just whatever the first thing that comes to you. This will have different meanings to all of you. But it will also give you an idea of where you are seeking to manifest. It will give you clues as to where your mind wanders and what your heart seeks. Allow that image to fade and come back to the breath and bring in expansion. Breathe it in, breathe in potential, and lift off of yourself the idea of the universe providing, because the universe in itself is limited and you are beyond that. The universe, I guess you can view as a toolbox. But there are many other things beyond that, even greater, more expansive energies, stillness, peace. And it is in that place of stillness where your desires manifest. Breathing long and deep. Knowing that you are safe. Knowing that you are okay. Knowing that you can trust yourselves. Trust is a big thing. As humans and in the societies that you are indoctrinated into, trust is often given away to others. I invite you to bring trust back to yourself, for your higher self knows what you need and when you need it, is always there, is always providing for you. Trust you to make that which you wish to create. It is all within you. And with that, I wish to express how proud we all are on this side of all of you who sit here. Although you may not see it all the time, you are making amazing leaps and bounds in your consciousness. And this is not easy in the world in which you have incarnated. This is because you are forerunners, the creators, the ones paving the way for the new energies to come to earth. So at times it may feel like you are butting your head against a wall. But do know that